Right now, while you are watching this video, somewhere in America, an AI system just made a decision that used to require a human being. And the person who owned that AI just made money. The person whose job it replaced didn't. That is not a future prediction. That is not a theory. That is happening right now in 2026, and it is quietly creating a largest wealth gap this country has seen since the Great Depression. And here's what makes it different from other wealth gap in history. Let me give you some numbers because I want you to feel what we are talking about. In 2023, top 1% of Americans held about 30% of all wealth in this country. By the end of 2025, this number jumped to near 34%. 4 percentage point in 2 years. Now I know what you are thinking. Hey Tushara, rich people get richer. That is not news. So you are right. That always been true. But here's what's different this time. The speed. In previous every economic shift, the industrial revolution, rise of the internet, the 2008 financial crisis, wealth concentration happened over decades. But this is happened in months. Especially, it is the fact that AI creates value for people who own it, while simultaneously reducing the need for people who work. That is the gap, and it started before most people even noticed. Okay, so let me break down this into three parts, because once you see all three, you will understand why this is accelerating and why waiting to understand it is itself a finite decision. Point 1. AI doesn't replace jobs evenly. When most people think about AI taking jobs, they imagine factory workers, assembly lines, and physical laborers. That already happened a decade ago. Robots took jobs in 18th and 19th. What happening now is different. AI is going after white collar jobs, knowledge jobs, and the jobs were supposed to be safe, like accountants, finance analysts, junior executives. Goldman Sachs released a report, and I want to be clear, this is Goldman Sachs, not some random blogger. They estimate AI could automate up to 300 million full-time jobs globally. In US alone, up to 25% of work tasks exhaust the entire economy. And here's the critical part. These aren't the lowest paying jobs. These are 60k to 120k jobs. Middle class jobs, jobs with benefits, jobs with retirement plan, and people build their life around. That's the point 1. AI isn't hitting the bottom of the economy. It's hitting the middle. Point 2. The wealth from AI doesn't spread, it's concentrate. Now here's where it gets really important. When a company replaces 10 employers with one AI system, where does that money actually go? It doesn't get distributed. It doesn't create new middle class jobs somewhere else. It goes to shareholders, to the executives, to the people who own the technology. Let me give you a real example. In 2024, a major US financial service firm, I am not naming because this is happening all over industry, reducing their operation staff by 22% through automation. Their revenue stayed flat, but their profit margin go up by 9%. That 9% didn't go to workers who stayed. It went to the bottom line, which went to the stock price, so finally shareholders. And who are the largest shareholders in AI company? Other AI companies, hedge funds, venture capital firms, and the wealthiest individual in America. That's the loop. That's the gap widening in real time. Point 3. Most Americans have no exposure to this wealth creation. Here's the part nobody talk about. The S&P 500, which is what the most 400Ks are tied to, does include some AI companies, Microsoft, Google, Nvidia. But the real AI wealth creation, the early stage stuff, the private equity deals, and the per IPO investments, that's completely locked behind the door. That says accredited investors only, which in America means you need 1 million in asset or 200k in annual income just to get access. So the people who most need to benefit from AI growth, the regular working American with the 401k. They are getting a small, diluted shriek of the AI story, while the people who were already wealthy are getting in early, at the round level, and watching it compound. That's the three-part mechanism. AI reduced labor cost, those saying flow to owners, not workers. And the best investment opportunities are legally allowed to people who are already rich. Now, I want to stop here for a second because I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds depressing. So, what can I even do about this? And that's exactly what I am going to answer. But first, I need to understand you to one more thing because this is the part some of video completely miss. And honestly, it is most important part. Let me talk you directly for a minute. If you are earning 40k to 120k a year, if you have a regular job or mortgage, or maybe a 401k, you are in the group this gap is being caved out of. Not because you didn't do anything wrong, not because you are not smart or hard work, but because of the economy is being rewired and nobody sent you a memo. Here's what that means practically. Your income, the wage from your job, is part of the economy that AI is especially designed to reduce. At the same time, the asset that AI making more valuable, equity in tech companies, intellectual properties, data, those are the things you likely don't own. So right now, if nothing change, your earning power is under pressure while the asset in you don't own going up in value. That is the gap, not in graph, not in think piece, in your actual finance life. And it is happening faster than headlines suggest. LinkedIn's 2025 workers report showed that job posting requiring zero AI skill dropped by a 37% in a single year, meaning even jobs that aren't being automated yet. They now want you to know how to work with AI. And if you don't, you are fired today. That's a slow version of gap, that is visible version. The invisible version is your purchasing power. Inflation hit every American hard, like groceries, insurance, rent, all are up. But corporate profit in AI adjacent industries goes up. The people who assisted in the economy got a hedge against the inflation. AI made their business more profitable. The people on the labor side of the economy got scared from both ends. I am not saying this is to scare you. I am saying it because you cannot solve a problem you don't understand. So, the gap is real. It is accelerating. And window to get on right side on it is open right now. But it won't stay open forever. Okay, so what do you actually do about this? I am going to give you 3 things, not 47 tips. Because 3 things done consistently beat 47 things. Number 1. Start building AI literacy right now. Not a computer science degree, not a coding boot camp. I mean basic working knowledge of the AI tool that are relevant to your field. If you are in marketing, learn how to use AI for content. If you are in finance, learn how to use AI for analysis. If you are in operation, learn how to use AI to building workflow. The people who get promoted over next 2 to 3 years, not the smartest person in the room. Only people who figured out how to use AI as leverage. Tools like ChatGPT and others have free options that are genuinely useful. So they are not excuses. You won't start testing this week. Number 2. Shift some of your saving to cash to asset. I am not giving finance advice to you. But generally speaking, money sitting in regular saving account earning 4% while AI companies compound 30 to 40% is a gap that widens every single year. At minimum, understand what your 401k is actually invested in. Most people have no idea. Log in this week and look at the allocation. Make sure you have real exposure to technology growth, not just bonds and legacy index funds. Number 3. Build at least one income stream that isn't tied to your labor. This is the long game, and it is the one that actually crosses the gap. A newsletter, a digital product, an online course, or affiliate income. These aren't get rich quick shape. These are assets that can grow while you sleep, which is exactly what AI is doing for wealthy people right now. The difference is you don't need $1 million to start. Only you need the skill and consistency. So let me zoom out for a second. I am not telling you AI going to fix everything. So what I am really telling you is just the gap between people who understand this shift and people who don't is going to be one of the defining financial dividers of the next decade. And you are watching this video right now, which means you already pay attention. That matters more than you think. So what is your idea about my explanation? Please comment below. And if this video helped you see that more clearly, hit subscribe. See you next week.